We heard them whisper, "Come play with us," as we ran for our lives down endless stairs. But when we told my aunt about them, she swore no one lived there. Let me tell you the story that made me swear off that place forever. If you've ever had a moment that gave you goosebumps or made you question what's real, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories that will keep you awake at night. Now, buckle up because this one still haunts me. I was just 6 years old, and to me, the world was a playground. Every visit to my aunt's flat felt like an adventure. Her place was on the 6th floor of a 10-story building. It always felt a little too quiet up there. All the flats on her floor were empty except hers and one other. My sister, my cousin, and I were the kind of kids you'd call little troublemakers. We didn't mean any harm, but we thrived on mischief.
One day, we were playing downstairs on the ground floor, just running around like wild animals, shrieking with laughter. That's when we spotted them. 3 kids standing off to the side, quietly playing football. They weren't laughing, not even smiling, just kicking the ball back and forth like they'd done it 1,000 times. We were bored. We wanted new toys. So we snatched their ball. I remember that moment clearly. They didn't fight back. They didn't even shout. They just watched us, dead silent, their faces expressionless. I laughed and hit one of them on the arm, trying to be funny. A few days later, we saw them again, and somehow we made friends, if you could even call it that. They never spoke, ever, not a single word. We'd ask, "Hey, what's your name?" Nothing. "Where do you live?" Silence. It was weird, but we were kids. We didn't care about red flags. We just liked the football. But I remember lying in bed at my aunt's house that night, replaying it in my head. Their blank eyes, their lips pressed shut. I felt uneasy, but I didn't tell anyone. Next visit, we went looking for them. We knew which flat was theirs. We knocked. No answer. We were about to leave when the door creaked open by itself. My heart jumped. On the floor inside was their football, like they had left it for us on purpose. We didn't hesitate. We grabbed it and ran back to the lift, laughing. We sent it down to my cousin on the ground floor in the lift. When he came back up, we were ready to keep playing. Except he was pale. He shook his head. There was nothing in the lift. We froze. He was dead serious. We looked at each other, confused, a little scared. We went back to that flat door, thinking maybe we'd left the ball behind by mistake. And there it was again, sitting neatly outside their door. We didn't want to touch it this time. We went to my aunt's flat 3 more times. We knocked on their door again and again. No answer. It was like they'd vanished. Finally, frustration got the better of me. I blurted it out while she was cooking dinner. "Auntie, what happened to the kids next door?" She turned, confused. "What kids?" "The 3 kids who live there." She frowned, wiping her hands. "Sweetie, no one lives there. That flat's been empty for years." My blood went cold. We argued with her, begged her to remember. She got scared just seeing us so panicked. So I forced a laugh. "I'm just kidding." But inside, I felt sick. I felt watched. One evening, we packed up to leave. The lift was broken, so we took the stairs, huffing and puffing all the way down. Halfway home, I remembered I'd left my favorite toy at her place. We turned back. Those 6 flights felt longer than ever. The building seemed silent. Too silent. When we reached the 6th floor landing, we stopped dead in our tracks. They were there. The 3 kids, standing in the hallway, perfectly still. They were smiling, but not normal smiles. Their mouths stretched too wide. like the corners were about to rip. My cousin whispered, "Run." We bolted down the stairs so fast we tripped over each other. But the staircase felt endless. It felt like it was looping back on itself. Every step echoed with whispers, "Come play with us. Come play with us." I remember my heart pounding so hard, I thought it would explode. I squeezed my cousin's hand until he yelped. We didn't dare look back. We just ran. When we burst out onto the ground floor, we collapsed on the cold tiles, gasping. I thought it was over. But then, I felt something. A chill. I looked up. On the 6th floor balcony, they were standing there, all 3 of them, smiling down at us. One of them was holding the football. I didn't sleep that night. All I could see was their faces, that football, and worst of all, the guilt. We'd been so cruel to them. We stole from them. We laughed at them. Now I wondered, were they even alive when we first met them? Or had they always been like that? Trapped, wanting us to join them. We never went back to that flat again, ever. My aunt tried to invite us for holidays. We refused. I think she understood, because I noticed she eventually moved out too. Maybe she heard the whispers, or maybe she saw them. But here's the thing, I think they got their revenge. Not with claws or blood, but with fear. They made sure we never forgot them. They branded themselves into our memories so deep that even now, decades later, I can see those smiles when I close my eyes. We tormented them once. Now they haunt us forever. Some people think revenge has to be loud, violent. But they showed me that the most terrifying revenge is quiet. It's waiting for you in the dark. It makes you question your own mind. And worst of all, you carry it with you everywhere you go. I don't know who or what those kids really were, but I know this. When you hurt someone for fun, the universe finds a way to make you pay. Even if it takes years. Even if it's in your dreams. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and share your own creepy encounters in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more unsettling, true, and twisted stories from Reddit. Until next time, sleep tight.